Well, good evening, beautiful people of the internet. Welcome to episode 44, believe it or not, of the Studio Rats Q&A live.
I can't believe that people actually want to listen to this guff. 44 episodes.
44 episodes.
Wow. Who's in the house?
44 weeks. So far, we are joined by John Partridge and Dave Stockton. Good evening, gentlemen. Welcome. It's nice to have some people in early doors. Yeah, Paul, what have you been up to? Tell me about your life and stuff.
Well, I've been recovering from this like debilitating slip disc. I feel like I'm getting old. It's just rubbish.
Is it actually a slip disc?
Yeah. Slip disc and then sciatica caused by the slip disc. Man, just like debilitating.
And then I did it on Saturday, and you went and did it today. We've both been stabbed in the arm.
Yeah, which is great actually, which is really good. I was a little bit worried though, because I thought, oh no, I'm going to come down with it. You know, it's all gonna go wrong before the show. But feel good so far.
You've got tomorrow's when it will kick in. You'll feel like warmed up for a day, I reckon. Well, I did. I felt really rank after about 24 hours, and then by the afternoon, I was fine again.
Oh, great. Nice one.
So, yeah, nothing to worry about. So the good thing is that we can, in 3 weeks, we'll be semi-covered.
Is that to cuddle again?
We'll be able to cuddle and yeah, all these sort of things, hopefully. We're able to make some content. Other good stuff that's been going on. We've been talking to some new partners to work with. We'll be bringing you some amazing content if all that stuff happens. So cross your fingers and toes and stuff. There's some really cool stuff coming, some good stuff in the pipes, as they say. Good evening, everyone who's joining us. Safey's out there. Phil, Stephen. First question of the evening.
Yes.
From John Partridge. Where did you get the divided by 13 amp? Can't find a UK dealer.
Oh, I think I actually got mine second hand, as I like to buy everything second hand.
Because he's a cheapskate.
Well, yeah, because I don't want to pay. No, because if I like, I've said this so many times.
Why pay the front door tax?
Sorry?
The front door tax.
Front door tax. What's that?
Yeah, as in as soon as you get it out the front door, it's worth half what you paid for it.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So I like to, if I buy something second hand, I know that more or less I can sell it for what I paid for it if I don't like it. And I bought it second hand. Although, if you want the UK distributor or dealer for divided by 13 is, what's his name?
Peach.
Huh? No, it's not. It's who's the guitar luthier in or guitar repairer in near Kingston, Hampton.
Chandler's.
Yeah, yes. Charlie Chandler.
Yeah,
Charlie Chandler is the UK dealer. The thing is that they are a bit hen's tooth. So
by that you mean rare, don't you? I mean, you're using all this South of the river.
Is that south of the river?
Yeah, south of the river.
Is it,
brother?
Okay, so yeah, they're quite hard to get hold of in the UK. So if you want to try one out, Chandler's is not. In my opinion, Chandler's is definitely not the correct shop or place to be the UK distributor or dealer of divided by 13, because it's such a small shop. And he needs someone like Anderton's or
guitar or
I don't understand. I do not understand why divided by 13 amps. I mean, I know that they're all hand built one at a time, so they are like really, really boutique, but I don't know why Anderton's doesn't stock them. I do not know.
Who knows? So two things. Yep. Let us know where you are this evening, everybody. Dave Brock, or Broke, I'm going to go with, from Colorado. So far, he wins the distance challenge.
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. No, doesn't.
Oh,
Stephen
actually,
James.
I saw Melbourne. Yes, but I saw Brisbane. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Well, let us know where you are. I don't think anyone's dialing this in any further than Australia, but hey, I'm also going to share the link for the show. So if you want to come on and join us in real time, put your questions or anything like that. I don't think we've got a Leamington Spa.
A nice part of the world.
There's a great studio in Leamington Spa called it's called Woodbine Studios.
Oh, I don't know Woodbine. No.
And it's owned by the chap, and I can't remember his name, who played piano or played Hammond on Ghost Town by the Specials.
Awesome.
It's a great Woodbine. That's the one. Yeah, Woodbine Studios. Yep. I did an interview with him, and I can't remember his name for the life of me. But his claim to fame is that he played the but. Oh,
that's such a tune.
Yeah, it's, and I can't help but smile now whenever I hear that track. Larry North asks, "How's your back, youth?"
About youth, it's all right actually. It's all right. It's the backs. It's mainly the leg because it just shoots down. Shoots down your leg, and it is like you just can't sleep on that side of the body. It's so painful, man. I've always sort of thought that anyone with this is just putting it on. It's unbelievable. Never gonna, not trust someone's pain.
Yes.
So what have you been up to anyway?
I have been working on some new tracks for our friend in Salt Lake City, Rex.
Oh, nice, yeah.
Some new recreate some sort of 50s surf recreations of tracks and some kind of 50s doo-wop stuff that we've been working on, which has been good fun. I've also been finishing up the review for Production Expert of the amazing vocal booth, the PVB, the portable vocal booth, which is very cool, and is officially the largest box to ever be delivered to my studio. That I think will be outgunned when the piano arrives, but I'm not sure if the piano actually comes in a box. And I've also finally got round to doing some recording and messing around with the Pro Tools Carbon, which is very interesting and gets us onto a potential talking point for the evening. I have a theory, and I think maybe Avid have not necessarily missed the boat, but they're certainly late to the party. We now all have really powerful computers with loads of host-based processing and RAM and all that sort of loveliness.
Yep.
And yet everyone is now jumping back on the proprietary DSP bandwagon. Antelope are doing it. Obviously, Pro Tools and HDX has been around for a while, but now Carbon has about a third of an HDX card in it. Universal Audio are doing it with this kind of hybrid workflow, hybrid approach, where you track via DSP and you monitor via host effectively.
Yeah.
And it's quite a clever thing that they're all kind of implementing it in a slightly different way. But I'm just wondering, the Pro Tools approach was very good, but it's quite a faff if you want to actually print what you're tracking through. It's not a faff, but it's just extra steps. Whereas the UA one is click a button.
Yeah.
Antelope, ironically, it's more difficult if you don't want to print through the effects. So,
right, okay.
It's just it got me thinking, sort of writing this up for a script for the video. I'm thinking everyone's going that way. Everyone's trying to produce their own answer to a question that I don't even think's there anymore.
Yeah, but Universal Audio have been doing it for ages.
A while, yeah. Since the Apollos came out, agreed.
No, and okay, but DSP, yeah. Do we need DSP anymore? No, probably not.
I don't think so. But I mean, when you track?
Yeah,
you obviously track with reverb. Say for a vocalist, for a vocal
okay.
tracking. So you're going to track with some reverb because you want to give the artist nice
monitor. Yeah,
monitor. In their ears.
Yeah.
Are you going to commit compression a little bit?
Yeah. I mean through my preamps.
Yeah.
Not through. I don't do it using the Apollos. Using their using like an 1176, I wouldn't. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it isn't that I wouldn't do that, but I've got compressors that the vocals go through, and yeah, I commit compression, but via a proper compressor.
Yeah, I just think there's all this cleverness. It's like, do you remember when companies like Focusrite, RME, Motu all started doing software control systems for their hardware, and everyone now does it.
Yeah.
But all these software controllers had reverb built in and EQ and compression built in, and they've got to the stage now where you've got actually quite advanced EQ, compression, all that sort of stuff in these controllers, these software platforms. Does anybody use it?
Nah.
I don't think they do. I don't think anyone does. I don't think anyone uses these automated monitoring systems now, because you can have your buffer size, which is effectively the bit that generates the latency, so low all the time on most machines, because they've all got the power to do it.
Yeah, I agree. I don't mean, I don't know. I think it's good. I think the Universal Audio stuff's good because you can monitor through it. And they're really good quality reverbs, and also you can use those reverbs in your mixes. So
and if you're an idiot like me, you end up putting hardware processing to be your real effects, or sorry, you use DSP processing in place of real hardware effects on your console. Because to me, that's smart thinking. You've got a console with all these lovely auxiliaries, fill them up with virtual effects, if you like. Because I can. But having to commit, and I'm a great one for commit all the way down the line. Commit your EQ, commit your compression if you like it. Maybe with a guitar track, occasionally I'll produce a DI track, purely because it's not me who's making the final decision on the mix. Sometimes it's a third party or a client. But 99% of the time, when it's me calling the shots, I'll just commit. I won't bother with a backup or a DI or anything like that.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, we've got a message. I got a message or a question from Stephen. And actually, let me just go back. Matt Griffin says, "Cheers, guys. Thanks for the recommendation from a few weeks ago to pay someone to do my Squire Mini setup. I put on some 11s and it sounds great. Well, much better anyway for a kid's guitar. Nice one."
That's enough of that.
Yeah, because the scale, I guess, is so short.
Yeah.
Like a set of 9s or 10s are just going to be flat. Yeah. And Stephen James says, "Paul, how are you getting on with the new Katana patches, Rockabilly?" So I did. Yeah. I've got to be honest. I tried it. The only thing is, it's easy to get what I would call a rockabilly tone, but it's what I would call a rockabilly tone. It's like me doing, saying, here's me getting a gent tone or something. I know as soon as I release that video, someone's going to cut, or loads of people are going to say, "That's nothing like a gent playing. You're not even playing gent." It'd be the same with the rockabilly guys, because they're so passionate about what they do. And it's a very specific sort of sound that, even though I could give it a go, and I did give it a go, I was just thinking, do you know what? This is not going to work.
Yeah, there's a great phrase: "Go with what you know."
Yeah. Understand what you know, but don't try and bullshit there.
I mean, I think you could probably come up with a range of patches that say this is in the style of, but I don't think, Stephen, that's what you want. I think you want something that's really nailed it on the rockabilly tone, and neither Paul or I are those guys, really. Unless you've got a secret rockabilly craze thing going on that I didn't know about.
I can play the solo to what's the George Michael song, Faith. Jink, that's sort of rockabilly.
Get out now. Just
Okay, a couple of questions. Hi guys, I'm a fan of your Katana playlist. It's probably the most comprehensive resource on Katana. Thank you for that. Will you continue adding content to it, or are you slowly running out of ideas? So I think I basically covered all of the effects there's always content that's able to do on it, and I've done in the last couple of weeks. I've done some.
Mm-hmm.
So no, and to be honest, quite a lot of the community are Katana fans. So I've got to sort of keep it up. I'm hoping that Boss come up with a new Katana pretty soon,
or at least a firmware update or something to give us some more.
Yeah, something that's going to give me some good fuel for content.
Well, the nice thing will be once I've got in the new studio, which will be a little while yet, but once I get in the new, at least in the new house, I'll have more space.
Yeah.
And I can have a few more amps and things out, even though I've told my wife that it'll be a very small rig, very, very minimal. She can't hear me.
Any feedback on the sneaky amps on the Katana Mark II? Does it really worth the time to make them available? Oh, okay. So apparently there's a couple of buttons you can push.
Mm-hmm.
And it accesses some different amps. That's a bit of content that I need to do. Right, okay. That's a good bit of content. If I had a piece of paper, I'm going to write it down.
Do that. Make a note.
Because I don't know if it's true or not. And I say that because I remember seeing one of these videos on April Fool's Day.
Right.
And I think it's just become this urban myth. But anyone here that knows anything about these sneaky amps,
it could be an Easter egg that they're waiting to give us.
No. It's been around for ages, apparently.
No, but that's what it's called, isn't it? An unfound thing, known as an Easter egg in software development terms. Yeah.
Oh, awesome. No, I'll do that. I will check it out. That's on my desk for tomorrow. I'll see if I can sort that out. I'll at least check it out anyway. What's the other thing? Yeah, so I'm looking at getting a new guitar.
Right.
I'm gonna need some help from the community on what I should get.
So what are you getting rid of to fund this itch scratching?
I don't think I'm getting rid of anything. It's end of the business year, isn't it? It's end of the business year, so I'm hoping that I've saved enough tax.
Yep. Okay. So what have you seen that has tickled your taste buds of delight?
So I become a bit, and I never used to be, but I become a bit obsessed with some PRSs.
Ooh.
Ever since getting the DGT. So I don't know whether to get a custom 24.
Mm-hmm.
What's the other one? Oh, there's something called a signature. It's called a signature limited, which was something they released in 2012.
Right.
And it was like, and they only released like 800 of them or something, maybe even less than that.
Weren't you also talking about the John Mayer as well,
or a Silver Sky?
I don't know. For me, if you want to get a Strat, get a Strat.
But I've got a Strat.
Exactly.
But the Silver Sky is a bit. I mean, my Strat's like a proper and I know the Silver Sky is based on a vintage guitar. It doesn't look like a vintage guitar, and it's not. No. The pickups sound like a vintage guitar, but the neck doesn't feel like my beaten up. Oh, I'll show you. I don't know if I've ever shown this. Like the back of the neck. It's not like that.
No, but that to me is worn in. That's just getting worn in now.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I will say this, and I like his idea. I like our buddy Greg's idea of a 335 style something.
Yeah, 335. See, that's something else. The only thing about a 335, and I've said this before, but every time I go to buy a 335,
you come up with a Telecaster.
Yeah, I'll go and buy a Telecaster because I know that I would use it so infrequently.
Mm-hmm.
That is my only thing about a 335.
Didn't you say that about buying that Gretsch? And that comes out quite a lot.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, only because that Gretsch is way more versatile than I thought it would be.
Well, maybe a 335 will be.
Yeah, it's just the sound of a I love the sound of a 335.
I love the sound of a 335 through a Fender Twin with the tone roll back, that proper jazzy.
no.
I love it. Absolutely love it.
You like that? Nice one. Let's have a look.
I'm on my own then.
Yeah, yeah. Let's have a look. So what we got back? Okay, Paul Katrona says, if you know the Katana well, the sneaky stuff is pointless. I've got to check this out.
Yeah,
I've got to check this out. Thanks for that, Cesar. I'm definitely gonna check that out. I think the sneaky amps are technically presets that make the Katana sound like a particular amp. I've tried them for a couple of minutes and wasn't worth wasting time.
Oh,
interesting.
Well, let's hear it. Let's
Yeah. Well, I'll do a video on it.
Debunk the myth. If they sound great, then great. If they don't, then you've just debunked a myth.
I can't believe I forgot about them. Anyway, Larry North said 335 style, some sort of center block thing that could be tuned open or Nashville for different textures. Yeah.
I like that
David Bro says custom 24. Good man. Okay, why do we see so many new guitar hardware Multifx processors? I thought that we, by the year 2021, would have so much CPU power on our desktop machines. Yeah, that's a really good point.
Very good point.
I think. Go on, James.
So I think it's not about the processing power of the unit. I think it's about the way we get the signal into or out of the unit that makes those things super versatile. The reason the 11 rack, and I will always hark back to this, is because to me, the 11 rack was the first unit where they actually got the impedance matching right.
Yeah, they did.
And that's one of the things actually about the Pro Tools Carbon. You've got variable impedance inputs for instruments and for mics. So, for example, for microphones, you often want to change the impedance of the input when using a ribbon mic.
Yeah,
you can certainly get a variation in tone from a ribbon mic that way. Likewise, when you're using the DI inputs, you can change the impedance to get a brighter or a darker tone out your amp and out of your virtual amp.
Yeah,
which is quite good. But say that's why I think like hardware stomp box amp modelers score. And of course, although not at the moment, there is of course the live element. I don't know many guitar players who are brave enough to go out with a laptop and run IK Multimedia, iRig, or whatever it was called, live.
I used to. When Guitar Rig came out, I used to take a laptop and Guitar Rig with the little foot controller thing, which was basically a little USB interface with a volume pedal on it.
Yeah,
I used to take that out live, and every gig I was panicking that because it was going to go wrong.
Yep.
And did it go wrong? I think it went wrong a couple of times. It wasn't that bad.
But it's not worth the stress factor, is it?
No,
definitely. On a gig, there's enough things that can go wrong for you to add a laptop into the mix.
Exactly, and a laptop is such a decent laptop is way more expensive than the neural DSP Core Cortex that's coming out, and then plus you've got to buy an interface on the top. All that sort of stuff. And
you've got to get, you've got to set it up right. You've got to get all your levels right on the way in to make it think it's a guitar amp or make it realize it's a guitar going in. Whereas all these kind of stomp boxy boxes are designed for that. That's why I think they're scoring highly. When, of course, I get my neural DSP, I'll let you know how wonderful it sounds. And at that point, I'll...
Good luck with that.
Yeah. Yes.
So,
any news, by the way?
Huh?
Any news on that, by the way?
Yes, there is. There is actually. Hold on, I'm just looking up something because I want to. Oh, I'll tell you, who's that? Who recommended that?
What's that? Recommended what?
Krinar Silku guitar. He's the man. He's recommended a guitar, and we'll show that in a minute. So yes, so I phoned up Guitar Thursday or Friday.
How much BS they feed you then?
They said end of the month.
This month.
Well, that's what they're saying. That's what they're saying.
See, now it's funny because I've been doing some research.
Oh yeah.
Believe it or not, I actually do research stuff. I don't just open my mouth and out it comes.
Really?
Yeah, occasionally. So, and it's actually because I've been trying to get hold of another product that's been affected in the same way.
Right.
if you go out and try and buy one of the new NVIDIA graphics cards, GPU for your PC or whatever,
Yeah.
you're going to struggle. One of the 3000 series, because there are two factories on planet Earth at the moment that make silicon, make the basic building blocks of what we know as processors.
Right.
There are two. The pandemic has obviously affected them in a fairly big way, as has a chip fire. When I say chip, I mean silicon, not potato. A big plant in Japan that affected the market and everything in a big way. But there's a massive shortage of silicon chips in the world and the silicon die bases for processors. And I'm wondering if that's what has got Neural. The thing is so full of tech and of processing. I wonder if that's what's hit them. Because we
were told they were sitting on a because if they'd have said that at the beginning,
we've been told that by a bloke in a shop who is probably reading some notes that his boss, who doesn't know, has given him to read to appease the thousands of people who are phoning. Can I have my quad cortex now, please? And that was just me. The bloke at the coalface doesn't know. He doesn't, because I've been that bloke at the coalface, and you will do anything to get rid of that customer in the nicest possible way, so you can take the next customer's money. That's just the way it works. They don't know. The top brass probably know that there's a problem, or that either there has been a problem, or there's a chip shortage, or whatever. But we ain't never going to find out, because the last people who are going to find out is us, because Neural don't want anyone to know.
Yeah.
When they arrive, great. There'll be some amazing content. I know.
Yeah.
Sorry. Rant over.
Okay. Karina Silku Guitar says, I'd say go for the new PRS Studio. And I hadn't heard about the new PRS Studio, but I want one.
Show us then. Show us.
Shall I show it? Okay, hold on. I've got to I'll do this. Share screen.
Right. Show it then. Oh, hello. And I love that. I love that color as well.
Yeah, that's nice, isn't it? And I like that because it's got the, what are these? They call these little mini humbucker things. They call them, what are they called? Wide. What are they called?
Oh, I like the back as well. That's lovely.
Yeah. So look at the electronics. Narrow fields. That's what they are.
Oh, yummy.
That's great, isn't it? Look at that.
Show that back. Show the back image, because that looks
one.
Cool. Yeah, that one. Oh,
you like that?
Oh,
yeah,
that's
yeah. I mean, just the build quality. You know, whether you like PRS guitars or not, the build quality is unbelievable.
It is.
There we go. You done it. Well done.
It is nice. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I have to find one of them.
I like that color as well.
Peach guitar might be ripping me off.
I like green guitars as well. So
do you?
Yeah, well, it's a green thing. It's an ivy thing.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay. Oh, we got some questions. Right. So look.
Okay. What we got?
Yeah, thanks for that, Karina. That's a good choice. That would be, that would do me perfectly. That is a perfect guitar for me.
Mm-hmm.
So Lassie says, so the software plugin should be the obvious choice. Is his MacBook Pro with an i9 processor and 32 gigabytes of RAM not a whole lot more powerful than say a Fractal Axe FX3? Yes, undoubtedly.
No, it's massively more powerful. Infinitely more powerful. But what you have to remember is that your laptop is also designed to run Word and Excel and run and surf the internet and do audio recording and stuff. The Fractal is just dedicated and designed to do one thing. Definitely. And that's where these things score. You're not spending, in the case of the Quad Cortex, you've got 1,500 quid thereabouts.
Yeah, about that.
For a quad core processor. Well, we haven't had quad core processing in Macs or PCs for about the last 15 years.
Yeah.
But it's a hell of a processor to put in a guitar stomp box. So
I've got a thing as well. I think there's a massive difference. I still play through plugin. So I've been doing some videos. I've been doing the series on like my favorite guitar amps in plugins, and they're great. you know, they're great. You know, definitely still my favorite one is definitely Scuff 'em, without a doubt. Sounds fantastic. But there is a difference, and I don't know what it is. There's a difference in playing through an amp sim plugin than playing through a hardware unit, something like the Boss GT1000.
Mhm.
There's a definite difference.
Yeah, I agree.
And I don't know what it is, but it feels better because you don't have to worry about, I guess, all the latency is it's dedicated for that, isn't it? It's all it's doing is saying, just do that.
Yep.
And yeah, and I've been doing so many of these videos where I've been, you know, doing these amp sim plugins, and I've been getting a little bit like, I've sort of forgotten how to play again. I'm uninspired. You plug into an amp and just go, oh, there it is. You plug in the GT1000, you go, there it is.
I've never had that with a valve amp.
No, I've never had that.
Valve amp, and I go, oh,
yeah.
In some ways, and this is say a lot of what I do when I'm recording. I'll plug into a valve amp and get something close for the inspiration, but I'll also take a DI, and then I think, right, you know, so I'm getting the air movement and the feel of the valve amp, but I'll maybe use the DI through an amp sim.
Yeah.
Or I can give someone else the choice to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it. I'd much rather take out a hardware processor than a computer running software. It still feels a bit different to me. And I guess that's all. Yeah. We've gone over this.
And on a gig,
Yeah.
you want the least possible things to go wrong.
Absolutely.
Every time.
Absolutely. Yeah, couldn't agree more. So he says, Lassie says he's running both Helix Native and Bios FX2. Both sound great, and I don't feel any latency. But what's your take on this? Best regards, Lassie, Denmark. Yeah, great. I mean, both, you know, all of that stuff sounds fantastic. And if you like it, that's great. I think you just need to, if that's what you like, go with that and be extremely happy with it, and know that the equipment that you've got is going to be way more powerful than anything that's in one of these little processors.
If it ain't broke, if it works for you, and you're not putting that gear in harm's way, I wouldn't want to take it to the Dog and Duck on a Friday night.
He might not know what the Dog and Duck is.
All right, the King's Arms, the King's Head, the Railway, the Coach and Horses.
In Denmark, he's in Denmark. Lassie, he means the local pub. He wouldn't want to take it down the local beer place
for a Friday night gig.
Yeah.
Whereas, you know, your Marshall JCM 900 or whatever is going to go on forever. You could probably throw beer in it, on it, at it. Maybe not in it, but you know what I mean. It's going to take a licking and keep on ticking.
That's quite good. Licking and keep on ticking. John Partridge says PRS 509 are nice guitars. Yeah, definitely. I was looking at them. The only thing about the 509 is I'm not, and I know it's not technically this, but I'm not a fan of single hum guitars. James, should I show a picture of a
yes.
509? PRS.
PRS 509.
It's very different to other PRS guitars because here we go.
Say when I'll add you.
Here we go. It does look great, actually. I'm going to show you. Hold on. It
is
EMG?
nice. Oh, hello.
Oh, sorry.
Got to stop doing that.
No, wrong one.
There we go. That is nice.
It is nice, isn't it? Yeah. The only thing is, it's what it is it's actually 3 single coils. You think of it as 3 single coils, but you can bring in another coil. So it's I don't think it's technically they are humbuckers because they hum. They can hum. Yeah. But I think it's mainly a 3 single coil, which is probably better for someone like me.
Are they EMGs as well, or are they just cams?
No. They're just covered pickups. They're PRS's own.
Right.
Okay. Switch off.
Nice. It does look nice.
It is nice, isn't it?
Very. I would.
It's very nice, actually. I might. Yeah, actually.
What's your budget? What's your budget?
I don't know. I'm gonna have to see what happens when I go and see Mr. Accountant. I'm hoping there's gonna be some money left over before the wife gets her hands on it.
You shouldn't be saying that, mate, because she could be one of the listeners. She could be in the house eavesdropping on you.
She's talking to her mum. She's definitely not listening to this guff.
Right,
Phil McNally says, been looking at a Gretsch since watching your video. Either a hollow G5420 TT or semi G5522 22T in case we ever get to play live again. Any thoughts? Right.
It's funny because we were just talking about Gretsch when you started talking about your want for a new guitar. I started saying, do you know what? I fancy a Gretsch. I fancy that kind of big Chet Atkins style sort of jumbo with a Bigsby and stuff. I really fancy that.
Yeah.
Say when you had this thing.
Which one is it? I'm just trying to hold on because it's so the
There's
540. Oh, 5420 GT. Got it. Okay, hold on.
That is nice.
Oh, can you see me? Can you see?
Yeah.
Can you see?
That
is nice.
That was the one I was looking at, wasn't it?
Is it?
Yeah.
What brand is this? One of the?
That's an Electromatic.
Is it?
Yeah, that is, yeah.
Because I can't tell. I can't tell if it is an Electromatic.
Well, I can say because it says Gretsch Electromatic in the title.
Oh yeah,
that's the giveaway, really.
Brilliant.
He's not the sharpest tool in the box, boys and girls.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, great. I don't know. I've never played one of the Electromatic or the Streamliner, the cheaper ones. But so yeah,
Electromatics don't seem to be that, but I mean they're cheaper, but they're not cheap. You know, the Electromatics seem to go up to about $1,000, and then jump to the conventional ones that aren't the American custom shop ones.
Yeah.
The Japanese branded Gretsch.
Yeah.
Probably find a built in the court factory or something like that because that's just the way it works. But
probably,
you know, great guitars.
Phil, if you get a chance to watch, Andertons did a day yesterday where they did a Gretsch takeover where Gretsch basically sponsored a whole day's recording of videos at Andertons.
Nice.
And yeah, they did some stuff there. I heard the one that Danish Pete and Lee did with the Silver Sparkle one. That sounded great. And the reason that sounded great was because it was the higher price ones, but there was a definite difference between that one, which was the vintage spec one, and the more modern spec one. And the vintage one had what are they called? I'm looking here. Hold on. Let me check the pickups on this. TV Jones had TV Jones pickups, and the other one didn't. And the TV Jones pickups make a massive difference. But I guess you could,
good way or a bad way?
Good way. They sound brilliant. Yeah, right. Really good. They're much more spanky. They're much more, the brighter, much more attack and articulation and stuff. Yeah, so possibly, get that as a bass guitar, and then if you want to brighten it up a bit, but maybe get some TV Jones in it if it needs it.
Nice.
David Bro says buy the Collings. Yeah, I think there's a massive waiting list.
They're a lot of money as well, aren't they?
They're a lot of money, and there's a massive waiting list on Collings. Ever since that pedal show, I've definitely boosted that. Stephen James says totally understand, guys, about the Rockabilly patch. I suppose the best thing is to create a great Fender Bassman clean amp sound or a PV Classic Delta Blue sound. Oh, interesting. Then the Rockabilly guys can add the slap delay and booster to suit themselves. Thanks. I'm quite happy doing the slap delay and the booster. I tell you what, Stephen, if you want to do, I do like one-to-one sessions. If you want to get together, if you want to book a one-to-one session, I'm happy to go through and get the sound that you want.
That'd be fun.
But yeah, great idea. Paul Catrona, they are a fair starting point if you aren't well versed in the Katana hood, but you can get all those sounds without sneakiness. Oh, I'm quite intrigued now about this.
This sneaky thing. I want the sneaky thing. I want to know how to sneak.
Yeah. Sneakyamps.blank.tsl is what you need to look for. Okay, I'll do that. So does this actually open up different amps?
Well, you're going to tell us in a video tomorrow.
Well, maybe not tomorrow, but I'm going to start looking tomorrow. David Brose, are amps dead? It seems they're becoming impractical and unnecessary.
Definitely not. No, amps will never be dead because there will always be purists like me.
But it is true. I mean, I watch it. Do you ever watch any of those? I forgot what they're called now. It's basically where the guy goes around to, it's like a stadium concert, like for instance, Def Leppard, and he'll check out their guitars and their gear.
Rig rundown.
Rig rundown. That's exactly that's it.
I used to like the Rebecca Dirks who did it. She was really good.
Yes.
His name is Jason Shadrick, or there's the other guy, the tall dude.
Yeah.
Oh, what's his name? John
Bollinger.
Yes. Well, good.
John Bollinger. Right. Yeah. So I see so many Axe effects on those rig rundown. It's unbelievable how much Axe effects. Either people just using it as the front end, or people using it as just the effects.
Yeah.
And the the speaker modeling, IRs and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, no, it's a really interesting thought. At what point are Valve amps going to be no more? I think there'll always be a bit of a passion about it. It's like Valve Hi-Fi. There'll always be those guys that always want the original thing.
When it becomes so unecologically friendly to make valves, which it already is. It's a pretty disgusting process making valves.
Right.
As in, there's only 2 countries in the world where you can do it: Russia and China. When
not known for their human rights.
No, not really. And when it's basically outlawed and all the NOS, the new old stock valves, vanish, and we end up with the shitty stuff, that's when Valve amps will die. Not because of a want, because of a necessity. That they'll go away because you won't be able to get valves anymore, or valve prices will just go through the roof.
Yeah, I think they probably will. But then, I guess 5-10 years ago, you'd have said that vinyl's dead.
Exactly. The vinyl revival's been huge.
Yeah, it's been massive, isn't it? I mean, I know there's probably more people that would listen to vinyl and buy vinyl than buy valves, but it's interesting. Yeah, I think they're going to become very expensive. Oh, which reminds me, I spoke to Marshall today.
Yep.
May or June, we're looking to get those amps.
To be honest, that's all right. I don't need any more boxes to move in the meantime.
Okay, more questions. Matt Wright. Hi, Matt. Matt says, Johnny Marjag, awesome. Gretchen 1957 vintage Duojet. Yeah, Duojet. That's an interesting one.
You always forget about Jaguars and Jazz Masters and all those sort of quirky looking guitars. I was talking to you the other day. I would love a Gibson Explorer. I would love an Explorer, but it's a 4,000 quid guitar.
I would never buy a Gibson Explorer.
I think it was because the last time I saw Gary Moore, he was playing an Explorer, and I was like, I just love it. I love that shape. I'd have a white one, not one of the natural, the Edge style ones. I'd want a white or a black one.
Yeah.
Metallic style. And I was like, it's such a cool thing.
Isn't it funny how a guitar that was just so horribly outdated a few years ago is now sort of come back and is slightly trendy again.
Yeah, but it's like, who would have thought when when Super Strats started appearing in the late 80s, early 90s, they'd go away. They've gone, haven't they? There's still the kind of the metalers craze, and how many strings can you put on a Super Strat?
Well, no, I mean, it was in the 90s because, it was hair metal in the 80s or early 90s. And then grunge came in and all the vintage guitars started coming back, and it's been vintage. And then the last few years, it's gone Super Strat again. It's crazy. Yeah. Like crazy, Super Strats, like Floyd Rose's, neon colors again.
Yeah.
Bonkers.
Yes, at last.
Yeah, Johnny Marjag. I keep talking about one of them, Matt. I quite fancy one of them.
That is a nice guitar.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably a good call. I need to go and check. I need to go and spend a day down a guitar shop when everything
Can I
opens.
come with you?
Yeah.
When we can go shopping,
Oh,
I'll bring
we should film it.
I'll,
We should do a little filming.
I'll bring my phone, yeah, and we can film it and stuff.
Nice. Lefty Mike,
Of course, I'll bring my phone.
yeah. I recently discovered that in GarageBand you can't record above 44.1. Would you recommend Logic since I'm already used to that format? Yeah, you're right. GarageBand is restricted to 44.1. And that's also for a reason that they want you buying Logic.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you get so much more. It's a way more pro experience getting Logic over GarageBand. It's massively different. But GarageBand, if you're only recording a few tracks, I had to do a video today for.
Huh? Yeah, I've been doing a video in GarageBand this week.
Have you?
Yep. That and that.
Ah, fantastic! Yeah.
GarageBand.
Nice one. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, very, very cool. And actually, that works so well with the iPad.
Yeah, I did a video with GarageBand today for a company, and I was actually surprised how nice the experience was,
and how good the guitar amps sound as well. I was really.
Oh, I didn't try any of them.
How good the guitar amps sound and how good the effects are, and how quick it is to go. You know, that's actually a really. I wrote a very, very god basic track,
right,
in about a minute. And noodled a solo over the side, basic bass line, put a drum pattern in, noodle rhythm guitar part, noodle a guitar part over the top. This sounds all right.
Great, that's what you need. Yeah, simplicity. So Lefty Mike, will you notice the difference between 44 and 48? You probably won't hear the difference, if I'm honest. I think 90% of people, 95% of people probably wouldn't be able to tell the difference.
And that's not why you're upgrading from GarageBand to Logic, not just to get an extra few kilohertz of sample rate. That's not why you would do that. It's for track count, it's for features, it's for editing, it's for all those things.
Yeah. I still know, I know someone, a really prolific songwriter who uses Logic and he never goes out at 44.1. Actually, funny enough, Jack's guy.
Yeah.
Mark Crew. He does the same. Uses Logic and doesn't go out at 44.1. I think why I'd always record at 48 at least if I can. But yeah.
It depends if it works. I mean, I've got video workflows, I've got recording workflows, and I'm sure people who came in would who were expert in that particular thing would go, "Why'd you do it like that?" Well, because it works for me. It's my workflow. The other things that you don't understand in my system all fit together in this particular format of doing things. So hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
John R242, you can find them on the Facebook Katana amp users page under the files tab. Thanks, mate. I'm going to definitely check that out. It's funny that I haven't seen him. I'm sure there are loads of videos on YouTube about it, but I haven't seen any. Paul Ponting, no way are amps dead.
I agree.
Oh gosh, it shot up again. Hold on. Oh wow, we've got loads.
Yeah.
Okay. What? John Partridge just bought a Novo. It's a 12-month waiting list.
What's a Novo?
Novo guitar. It's guitars they're made in. I don't know where they're made. Is it Nashville or Atlanta?
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, they almost look a little bit Rickenbacker. Imagine like a really beaten up, flat top F-hold Rickenbacker.
Yeah,
beaten up, almost like the. I think they probably make them out of pine as well because they definitely they've got that pine sort of look about them.
I know the ones you mean. Yeah, I do know the ones. Yeah, nice.
Really nice. And again, it just shows you how much influencers have. I mean, Rhett Shull. If you look at Rhett Shull's channel, he always plays a Novo guitar. He's a great player. Paul Catrona, that's good. That's all good and well until someone kicks your plug out and you lose everything and wait for reboot. Unlike an amplifier. Yep, that's true. Lawn Plumber says amps are dead for live.
I think it depends on the gig. Depends on the band. As a function band player, something like a Boss GT1000 or a Quad Cortex or anything like that would be amazing. I think if you turned up to do a Beatles tribute with a Boss GT1000, I think you'd be laughed out of the cavern.
Who laughed at the camera? Very good.
Yeah.
Do you think so? Do you think people? Do you think people care? No, I guess you've got to have an AC30, haven't you?
Yeah.
You've got to. But that's a visual? It's still a visual thing, not a sound thing.
Don't know. Hey, I haven't done a gig in 3 years. How do I know? I mean, no one's done a gig in 18 or in a year, so
yeah. Lorne says his valve amps are only for home now.
Yeah,
John Wallace says on it, James. Do you know what John's saying?
I think that was in reference to the silicon discussion. I think that's when that came up.
Okay.
I think so. I could be wrong.
John Partridge, amps are not dead for live. It's all I use. Interesting. What do you use, John? I'd like to know what John uses live.
Mm.
Lawn Plumber, YMMV. James, you might have to help me with.
No, I have no translation for that one. You're my.
No, your mum.
See, I thought your mum, but I thought no, I'm not going to be offensive.
You're not going to be that childish.
No, for a change.
The charcoal is the stuff.
Yes, referring to your PRS, the charcoal guitar, I think.
Oh, that was nice, wasn't it? That was nice.
It was very nice.
I like that a lot. Go on, I tell you, we've started discussion with
started a punch up, haven't we? A virtual punch up.
Good. I love a Facebook, YouTube punch up. Amps are in no way dead for live. Every band I know in all use real amps live, and including me. I've been part of running and working a lot of live nights in London, and nobody pulled out a modeler. Interesting.
Interestingly, I think if you depending on the style of music, if you were doing on the function circuit, you would see a lot of Kempers on the function circuit.
I used to take Kemper out in the function.
Yep, because it's really, really easy. An amp on a function circuit is a liability, purely because someone is going to tell you to turn down.
Oh, that is true. That is so true, and it's so much silent stages about the moment. Yeah. Or were when we were gigging. One of the reasons I left. I mean, you know, I've got 2 4-year-old reasons why I really left the talent. Mm-hmm.
But I was getting.
Because you didn't have any.
Pardon?
Is it because you didn't have any? You left it.
I left it behind.
Yeah.
I was getting so frustrated with doing gigs where you turn up with a kit and they go, "Oh no, you can't play that." What? I'm the drummer. Oh, you got to play this Alesis Roland. I'm like, no. I tell you what. You say to our guitar player who spent $2,000 on his guitar, play this chunk of Squire nastiness. There's nothing wrong with Squires, but you know what I mean. I've got a $6,000 drum kit here, and you're expecting me to play that chunk of electronic shite. I just got the number of gigs where, oh, you're very loud. Yeah, you've seen our video, you know, the stadium rock band, and you've booked us for a pub that's not much bigger than my studio.
Didn't you used to? I mean, I used to hate doing those smaller venues that had the flashing light meter,
Christmas trees, red lights,
and it's the anxiety that you got when playing.
Oh, yeah, I've got to the point where I've seen them, been playing, get into a good bit, and had to stop because I knew it would kill the gig.
Oh,
I did a gig once where the what's that John Legend song that was popular for first dances?
Oh,
that one. And we didn't have a piano player. We had a guitar, electric guitar, and vocal. And I tripped the meter just with electric guitar and vocal, as in like a nice, clean.
Because it's not just, it's about frequencies as well, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, I did horrible things.
Yeah. So let's not have a fight about valve amps versus modelers. Let's have a fight about venues that shouldn't be venues, or just I'd had enough of gigging when I left. I'd really had enough of all the shit that went along with gigging.
Yeah. Okay. Paul Ponting says it's more popular among YouTubers in his experience. He's talking about modelers and
Yep.
I think that's definitely. I think there's something that's really nice and it's really easy when you're making content to be able to plug into something, you know how it's going to sound, and you can just get a great sound as opposed to miking something up, having to check it, and then doing the video and then hearing back and going, that didn't quite get it right.
How do you think you would feel if you walked into Capitol and saw Al Schmidt there ready to mic up your guitar and you pulled out a Kemper?
I think, no, I hear you. I do hear you, but
it's a time and a place. Capitol is a place, or Abbey Road. Pick your studio. The studio is a place where you can have, to a certain extent, you can take the time, and you've got a team and whatever to get a valve amp sounding absolutely incredible.
Yeah,
especially when you've got, I say Al just because we know him. Whereas, you pick your top flight producer, your Eddie Kramers, your any of that list of top end guys.
Yeah,
take advantage of their knowledge.
Yeah,
where they put the mic on the cabinet, how they angle everything, how they set it up. You're going to get an amazing tone. Now, if you're Kemper, or I say Kemper just as a kind of generic name for amp modelers, it will sound great in your bedroom. It sounds great in the studio, but you might as well have done the recording in your bedroom. If you're going to a studio, you're going for that whole experience. Yeah,
but let's not dismiss the modelers in that state, because I still think if someone takes in for instance, if someone turns up and they're used to playing through a Helix, or they're used to playing through a Kemper, and they've got the sounds that they want and they know what they're going to be using live, in the studio, what's the point in them turning up if that's what they want to play through? I would never say to someone, nah, you got to plug into this amp. I'd never say that.
I don't think I would do it either, but I think, and again, it's so dependent on the situation and the studio and who you're working with, or whatever. But and of course, if someone is totally used to it and they've got the sound they want, then great, go with it. But why would you go and work with an industry legend who's great at getting guitar tone if you're just going to plug in a Kemper or a modeler?
Do you know, there's a funny story, and I wish Mo or Brent was here. Mo and Brent are a couple of guys that James and I know, and they were doing some mixing or recording a song for basically a guy of a very, and I'm not going to give names away, but a guy of a very big company in the music industry, in our side of the music industry, who owns a big company, bought a football club. And for some, I don't know how it happened, but Mo and Brent got roped into recording the song for, and basically it was a couple of footballers from the football club. I don't think it was like a proper Premiership. I think it was like a couple of leagues down, maybe, but still, professional footballers.
Soccer to anyone outside the UK.
Yeah, sorry, soccer. And they basically turned up. Apparently, the band were. But anyway, the guys brought out a couple of. Each one had an Apollo, Universal Audio Apollo, and we're using the amp sims on the Apollo, going through cabinets.
Yeah,
and then. And they wanted it to sound more digital. So I don't think, I think it so it doesn't really matter what people want what they want, don't they? So,
yes.
Where are we? David LeBee says, does anyone else send mixes over? No, you're the only one so far, David. And what a lovely mix it was too.
It was fab.
Lawn Plumber, I'd never use a valve amp again. There's no point. Interesting. Why? And Shaharbar, why the F would anyone buy an FX3 or Helix or even a QC when neural plugins kick so much ass and use similar technologies? Well, we sort of went over that because of live. No one wants to take around a laptop live. Yes, if you're playing in your studio, in your bedroom, whatever. Yeah, absolutely. I still think there is something, as we discussed earlier, there's something definitely different about going in the front of a dedicated hardware unit. The way that they sort out the impedance definitely feels different. Plugins have reached a level where the rack units are no longer necessary. Sure, yeah, I agree with that. David Stockton.
But there are still some of those rack units out there that I would adore to own.
Yeah, me too.
22, is it the TC 2290? The delay.
Yeah, even to H3000.
I'd give body part. I've tried the 9000 as well, the new one, and it is off the chart.
Yeah, awesome.
It's inexpensive, but
yeah. David Stockton, agree with you on the Scuffum. Best by far in his opinion. Although the UA Fuchs one is pretty good. Yes, that is pretty good actually. I know someone that used one of them.
Although the one that UA rave about the most, the Fender Deluxe.
Oh no.
I can't get it to sound clean.
There is a way.
I'd love to know what
it's got two inputs. It's got two inputs, and it's the way that you use the mic input and the instrument input.
It's not my favorite.
No, I don't like it. But then I'm not a massive fan of 6v6 amps. Why don't British people have centralized air? It's always those door top units. I don't know what that means. I love it though.
I think that's to do with air conditioning. As in, I think it's to do with that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Why don't British people have what is centralized air?
Central air is American for air conditioning, I think.
But that is air conditioning.
That is air conditioning, yeah.
That's just the unit.
That's the inside. The condenser is on the outside. It just happens to be above the door because in this room, where else would I blooming put it? It is it's not central air, as in it's not a proper air conditioning. I haven't got ducting or any HVAC or any of that sort of stuff in here because this room is 20 square meters. And
can I just say, I don't think I've ever in my entire life seen a door top unit in England. Have you ever seen one of those? You know, the ones that hang out the window. I've never seen that in England.
I've never seen one of those here in the UK.
Sorry, mate.
Ever.
Yeah. Honestly, you see that around. You see that around like the States. You see it in like the
apartments and stuff. It's stuck in the windows and locked in. Yeah. No, that is a proper one.
Yeah. Off topic, but I like it.
Yeah.
That amp in the room feeling is hard to get. That's why I'm really interested in seeing how the Cortex sounds through the power amp in on the Katana. Of course, with cabs them off.
Interesting, yeah.
Excellent, yeah. I bought a power cab, Line 6 power cab, to try with the Cortex. If you could add one new feature to future Katana Mark III, what would it be? Oh, that's good. That's a great question. In other words, what do you think would make this absolute bestseller of an amp wipe the floor with the competition?
An intelligent harmonizer.
It has got one.
Has it? Oh.
Yeah.
Because that was always the thing about the 11 rack. It didn't have any kind of octave divider or harmonizer, and the reason behind it is it would push it needed an extra chip, and it would have pushed it over the $1,000 mark.
See, yeah, no, yes, got intelligent harmony, yeah. What do I think? That's a really good question. I mean, that's the only thing is that the problem is that our boss going to release a Mark II, a Mark III, because the Mark II is still so popular. It's almost like Kemper. Why does Mr. Kemper, why does he never update? Why has he not released the Kemper 2? Because people are still buying the Kemper
1 like it's going out of fashion.
Yeah.
I think the Quad Cortex is going to be, I'm not going to say Kemper killer, but I think it's going to dent their profit margins.
It's a different price. A different price
Is it?
point though. Oh, massively. What's the Kemper is like? I don't know, 300 quid.
300.
Sorry. Oh, sorry, mate. I'm thinking Katana. Sorry, I'm going Katana, not Kemper.
Kemper.
Sorry, Kemper. Yes, without a doubt. Without a doubt, it will definitely. Sorry.
If they haven't got something new coming to counteract Quad Cortex, then their marketing and their strategy meeting has been lacking.
Yeah, I agree. But I tell you what, I would like on the Katana Mark III. I'd like a single 2x12. Sorry, yeah, a 2x12 amp that was stereo.
Yes, absolutely, a stereo version.
Yeah, it'd be great, wouldn't it? Like stereo delay, stereo reverb, stereo chorus. And
I appreciate the only time it's in these true stereo is when you stick your head directly between two speakers. But
but you can aim it. You know, like those Trace Elliott cabinets. Yes. They had the speakers sort of facing.
I nearly bought one of those the other week.
Did you?
I nearly bought one. I thought no, because it's a big thing. Those 3-way 3x12s, whatever they were. They were a big unit. Nah,
big unit. John Waller, I did try that with a new DSP plugin with an audio interface. It's nice. Awesome. Lassie, thank you so much for your views on the topic software, amps in versus hardware. Very useful. Anytime, mate.
We do our best.
Yeah, we do our best. I've lost my spot. There we go. I found centralized air. Okay. Love your PSR or PRS gold top. Shame they don't make a left-handed version, don't they?
Oh, do they not?
That's the thing. I feel sorry for lefties because so many.
Huh? I don't play left, but I do. I am a left-hander.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's such a shame, isn't it, that a lot of guitar manufacturers don't make all of their models in right and left. But I guess it must be such a. I guess they're thinking about profit all the time.
It's what it comes down to these days, unfortunately.
But I guess if you've got like a body of a guitar, like a PRS,
but
like the actual body, not the maple top. If you turn it around and then put,
the body is a very small part of the engineering problem, isn't it? The main engineering problem is the neck and the string run, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah, I mean
the hardware and stuff. Yeah. Yeah. I feel for you, Stephen. SDR. Oh, hello, mate. How you doing? Hey, lads. Was wondering if you were grabbing one of those beautiful Melodium ribbons anytime soon. James?
I'm not because I am on a microphone
cull.
Well, yeah, I should be on a cull, but I'm more on a I don't need any more microphones until I know I'm missing any in the studio when I get to the new studio. Basically, all purchases apart from, say, Paul won't let me show it, but I'm going to show it because
about to lose some viewers here.
The only thing I bought this week, I bought myself a cajon, and it's a beautiful wooden box, and that's enough talk of that. That's the only thing I'm buying now until we move house, because I don't need to move any more boxes.
Yeah. David Olson, I've never been a Les Paul person, but really fancy an Electromatic Jet. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jet. Woo, woo, woo.
Very good. Matt Wright, Chet Atkins, Gretsch 6120. What I've got a 6120. The 6120, that's the Brian Setzer that I've got. And to be honest, one of the reasons why I bought that is because I don't need all those stupid bass switches and stuff. I don't want that. I don't want to dull that guitar. But yeah, I love Gretsch's. I used the Gretsch electronic guitars, but upgrade to TV Jones Brian Setzer pickups. Interesting. Yeah, they do sound amazing. Those pickups, staggeringly good.
That's a bit like, though. So I did that with my Epiphone Sheraton, which is basically a 335.
Yeah.
Upgraded the machines to proper Grovers.
Right.
Upgraded the pickups to bare knuckles.
Right.
And that thing is amazing. It's still got an Epiphone badge on it, but it's an amazing guitar. And even if I do eventually get a proper 335, I will not be getting rid of that.
Really?
Because it was my first guitar when I was 13.
Right.
So, it's got me and it have covered some ground, but it still sounds great. And it's a really usable, really playable guitar.
Interesting. Shahar Bar, you can be a purist, but don't be in denial of technology. The last remaining component for realism, latency, is quick becoming a non-issue. I agree. Yeah.
Totally agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was playing through the Zengo with and using the iPad, and although yes, the tones within GarageBand on the iPad are questionable, the latency was non-existent. There was no latency that I could feel. Nothing to the point where you go, back in the old days of twang,
Yeah.
twang. Yeah. It was non-existent.
Yeah. John R242, what about a Green Explorer?
Yes, please. If you find me one.
You like one of them, didn't you?
I would, yeah.
You should get a custom shop one. I'm sure they do some.
Yeah, for about 7 million quid.
You giants have any thoughts on the Cots and Telly? Nice. Ooh, yeah, really nice. Yeah, my only thing is I don't know why they didn't make an American version of it. I don't know why it's a Japanese guitar.
Probably because the number they're going to sell to people who have got American custom shop money is outweighed by the thousands they're going to sell who have people who've got Japanese money.
But the Japanese, I think it's more than that. I think it's because I think Richie Kotzen is quite big in Japan.
Mm-hmm. He's big in Japan.
Very good. I think it's more that than, but for me, like a USA version of that would be lovely. Yeah, really.
Is that because you're a guitar snob?
Huh?
Is that because you're a Fender custom shop snob?
I'm not. It's not just about. No, it's not about custom shop. It can be like an American version. I don't. There's a massive difference. I don't think there is between the Japanese stuff. I think it's really, really good quality. But I played some. I've played a few. I've played a lot of great Mexican Strats and Tellys, and I played more bad ones.
My jazz is Mexican, and it's awesome.
Yeah,
I say when it's set up properly, because it's not, it needs a bit of love. But when I got that, I compared that to some of the sort of $2,000-$3,000 custom shop, but jazzes, and that was a better instrument.
Yeah,
it was one of those freaks of nature. Sometimes you do get an amazing Squire.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you can drive a bus under those strings, though.
Yeah, they are pretty bad at the moment. The neck's kind of going.
Yeah, it is a bit then. The effects in GarageBand are really good, especially since they're free. Yeah, absolutely.
They are. Yeah.
Chantal Piera recently got into the Katana family, really enjoying the experience. Just discovered live sets and the ability to store more sounds. Looking forward to playing with your tutorials and patches. Excellent. Yeah, cheers, Chantal. Yeah, it's good, isn't it? It's such a versatile little amp.
It's a great box.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to using it for rock schools. I really am, because kids will go, oh, we want to sound like this, and I can go. Yeah.
John Partridge says Nashville. I'm guessing you mean 61 Gretsch 6120, which is also known as a Nashville.
Yes.
John Waller. Yep. Shahabar, for what it's worth.
Yeah.
Even put that in brackets for me. Your mileage may vary. Oh, nice one. Thanks, mate.
Thank you. We're so not down with the kids, aren't we?
I like that. I haven't heard that. John Partridge, Black Star, Artisan 30 head and cab, and Dr. Z Cure combo. Oh, Dr. Z. Love Dr. Z amps. Played all last year in Park Dean Holiday Parks with a full band. Park Dean Holiday Parks. With a full band between June and November. Would always use a valve amp.
Yes, because, John, I've done that circuit. I've done the Havens, Park Deans. There was one summer with Talent. We did 36 gigs in 6 weeks because we had a 3-week rotation of doing the parks.
Wow.
Oh, it was full on. I mean, but we were staying over. We'd do a week in the Isle of Wight, a week in Great Yarmouth, a week in sort of Clacton, that sort of area, a week in the Isle of Wight, it was a really good laugh. It was a really fun summer, and I came back with actually some money in my pocket, which is a rare thing after a summer like that. But yeah, but those sort of gigs, you can give it the beans. You can at least give it some juice. On a function gig, which, let's face it, do pay better than a holiday park. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with doing, because I've done thousands of holiday centres. They're great fun, and you always have a great time. If you've ever played Martello Beach at Jaywick, let me know, because it's one of the best gigs I've ever done for an audience that just get into what you're playing. We did a Metallica, Guns N' Roses, Nirvana, basically a heavy rock set to a holiday camp audience, and they went ballistic.
Oh, awesome.
Fantastic.
That's what you want.
Our guitarist had a big old 100-watt Engel head. Giving
Engel?
it... Yeah. Oh, yeah, we had... It was the full-on... The works. Oh, yeah. Me and my uber huge Tama kit, our bass player had the 8x10 Ampeg with the SPC head. Proper rock band. And the three of us were doing rock covers for weeks. It was great.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Because you can turn it up. But then you get to do Lord Farquaad's wedding, and you can't. And unfortunately, weddings and functions pay better than holiday camp gigs. They just do. Yeah. So you tend to end up, once you get more functions and stuff, you do them. And I just got frustrated with being told you're too loud. So sitting there with a pair of matchsticks playing, because there's no fun in that. That's not what I learned to play drums before.
No, it's true. Yeah, I love Dr. Z amps, by the way, John. So,
and the Black Star Artisan is a really nice series of amps. The 30 and the 50 are great. They've got that kind of combo thing of the jumpers and stuff like you've got on.
Have they? I don't remember that. I remember them being. They did them in different colours. They did them like a wine red.
Wine red, yeah. But they've got the jumpers on. They've got the.
Oh, have they?
What's it called? Marshall Plexi style.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. Eddie Van Lynch. Eddie Van Lynch. When are you going to make a video making the Steve Lukather tone for the 80s, 90s? Love your channel.
I will do that. I will take on that challenge.
Yeah, it's a great tone. But it's basically it's quite easy to do, actually.
Yeah, it's a boogie or a
with a chorus.
Yeah.
Such a good player, such a good tone.
Yeah, it probably certainly my top 5 guitar players of all time.
Oh, he's probably my number one. He's amazing
player.
We go. Where are we? John Weller in Seattle. We have similar units to you, James. I think he's talking about your aircon.
My aircon.
Of course, it rains all the time here as well. Yeah, that's one of the other reasons why you don't see a lot of air conditioning in England, because we don't need it. We've only needed it really in the last 10 years where things have started to heat up, haven't we?
Yeah, and we have summer. I mean, the reason for having it in the studio is obvious. And it's all there.
It's all that gear that's heating up.
Yes. But I don't know anyone in the UK who's got it in their house. I actually don't know anyone.
I've got a couple of neighbours that have.
Oh, is that because you live in Surrey?
No, it's nothing to do with. It's nothing to live in Surrey.
Is one of them called? One of them's surname Clapton.
No, I haven't seen any on his house. He's got he's got a lovely Spanish looking villa.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah. He probably has, though, but I wouldn't be surprised. Anyway, where are we?
Matt Wiltshire,
evening chaps. Loving the new preset pack. Cheers, mate. Awesome tones, especially from the Rockman and the 5150 patches. Is the 5150 modelled on the PV or EVH 5150? Is the 5150 modelled on the PV? To be honest, it's more of a Eddie sort of tone, actually, than modelled on a particular, than me actually getting a 5150 and
a tone match them.
Yeah. I mean, can I say that, or shall I lie and just say, oh no, I measured all the capacitors and the things.
You could say that, but you'd be talking.
Santhal, Piera, Richie Kotzen and co, Billy Sheehan, Paul Gilbert, etc., are very popular in Japan. That's probably why then.
Yeah. I saw, God, this is going back a couple of 3 years now. Richie Kotzen, Billy Sheehan, and Mike Portnoy.
Is it the Winery Dogs?
The Winery Dogs.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, he's a great. I mean, they're all great players, aren't they? But
they're all great show. I mean, Richie Kotzen not so much, but Portnoy and Sheehan are great showmen as well.
Are they?
Yeah, I mean, it was a great show as well as a great musical experience.
Yeah. Yeah. Where are we? Safety says Japanese makes of Strandbergs are 2 times I see. Sorry, Japanese makes of Strandbergs are 2 times the US and EU price, for instance. Wow.
Okay, well, I'll have the American one at half price then.
Jason Wade, hey guys, hope you both enjoying your evenings. Paul, I've got my first Surf Rider Classic S Antique Metallic. Oh, nice.
Very nice.
S. And then picked up an Ibanez Andy Timmons today.
Ooh.
Wow, it's like Christmas for you, mate, isn't it?
Wow, nice shout.
Yeah, Andy Timmons, that's another awesome player.
Yep.
So you've got Classic S Antique Metallic. I haven't seen that. I'd like to see that. That's lovely. Really good. Those Sirs, they're just such good guitars. If anything, they're too good. It's almost like that they're too. Everything's quite precise on it. It's very different to the Strat when I pick up. When I pick up the Strat, it's like the Strat is like you have to fight it a little bit.
But I like different guitars with different kind of personalities. I like something you got to fight a little bit because when you do win, you get a feeling of I conquered it, you know. Whereas an instrument that you just sit there and you can go, it's like it's a bit too easy.
Right.
I know that's kind of crazy, but
yeah. Jason's been binge watching all of the videos on the channel where the Seafoam Green one makes an appearance. Yeah, this is a great guitar. It's a great guitar. It's so versatile. The reason why I've been using it quite a lot recently is because a lot of people say, "Oh, can you do something with humbuckers, or can you do something with single coils?" And it's at least then I've got everything on one. Centhal Pierre, Steve Lukather, yes, please. John Partridge, yes. Holiday Park crowd are mental. They are, aren't they?
Great.
I'd look at going digital, but no idea where to start. I thought Kemper, but I wouldn't have a clue what to do.
If what you've got works for what you're doing, stick with it. Why break it if it ain't broken?
Definitely, yeah. I wouldn't change. You've got an amazing. I mean, especially the Dr. Z amp. They sound so good. If that's what you like, stick to it and just have a couple of effects pedals. And where are we? Matt Wiltshire, what headphones would you recommend for use with Katana? The Katana's a bit of a funny one because the headphone amp, I don't think is that useful.
No, it's not very good.
It's mono, isn't it? I mean, on my one is for some reason it just I don't know if I just got one that's weird, but it's mono.
But it's not going to be stereo, is it?
Why not?
Because it's the analog side of things.
What?
Well, it's not in the USB chain because the USB chain is stereo, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's in the it's the hardware analog side of things. They won't make it stereo. I think that's what it is. I haven't looked at a circuit diagram, but I'm assuming it's in the amplifier path and it's the mono side of it. It's pre any of the A to D conversion that gets you into the USB path.
But it can't be an A to D conversion because there's still effects going on. There's still effects going on. And they're digital effects. That's
true, but I that's why I assumed it was mono. That was what I jumped in with.
What would you recommend? Some decent headphones that'll be useful for other stuff as well, James.
What have I got here? Audio Technica ATH M60Xs. That's what I plug into everything, and they sound great.
Yeah, they're great. Get awesome Bayers. What are they? DT770s last forever.
Don't get DT100s because I know everyone wants to look like they just stepped out of Abbey Road in 1958.
Rubbish.
But they sound terrible. There is no bottom end.
Well, there's no bottom end unless you've got a decent headphone amp, and you have to have a really good headphone amp.
Yeah, but there's still not enough bottom end to warrant.
They're not very good. I
No.
agree with you. But then they're not designed for that. They're designed to keep the sound in, aren't they? As opposed to. Okay. Marco Lapiolati.
Yeah, I'll go with that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Hi, Marco. Hi from Finland. I really like antelope verges. Does James know why they permanently discontinued them? James?
I have no idea. I didn't think they had.
What is that? What is a verges?
It's the small diaphragm condenser, Mike. I don't.
Oh.
I will. I'm going to ask now. Keep talking.
We will let you know. Well, if they reply, Marco, we'll let you know.
They won't be up now, but I'm going to find out if they have. I mean,
We can let you know next week.
Yep, definitely. I'm going to ask right now.
Okay, you do that, and I'll do some more questions. Andy Johns, thought on a good $150 to $250 USB interface. My Axe IO has been dropping out lately, and I'm not sure why. Might need to replace it.
Antelope, not Antelope. Audient ID14 or ID4.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, they're good. Yeah, good. They've got good drivers, haven't they? If he's PC,
stable drivers for PC or Mac. You've got DI in on both of them. The JFET DI sounds great for bass. Great.
Yeah, great, nice one. Eddie Van Lynch, Paul, have you ever tried the Nick Johnston signature guitar with HSS? Your thoughts? Hold on, James, are you typing? Because I need to look this up.
Yeah. Sorry, it's me. I'm typing. 1 second. Let's continue.
I haven't, but I'm going to look it up. I'm going to look it up in a minute, and we're going to show everyone.
Guitar. There you go. I have just asked product management at Antelope if that is actually the case. Okay, go for it.
Okay.
You probably heard my computer go ping, didn't you, if you sent in the email?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Oh, no.
Hold on. Oh, the Schecter. Yes, I have seen that.
Ooh.
Have you seen that? Can you see it?
I haven't, but I like.
You like it?
Yeah, I think I'd like that.
What's the price? Let's have a look at that. Let's have a look at the price range. $800.
That's not bad.
$800.
Careful.
See if there's one.
eBay one on Fleabay.
eBay. Let's have a look.
$800. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks nice.
I think that's not the guitar that our buddy at Warm Audio, Sean, uses, but he's got a Strat type guitar like that.
Yeah.
What it is, but yeah, nice.
Yeah, looks nice. Good for the price, I'd say.
Yeah.
Haven't tried one. I don't know what. I haven't played a Schecter in. Ah, Jason, thanks, mate. That's very kind of you. It happens rarely. But we love it when it does happen.
Because we're actually going to, at some point, we're going to go out and have that beer, aren't we? Or
we are going to go and have that beer. Thanks, Jason. That's really kind of you.
Yeah, very kind.
Where are we? Yeah. So I've never tried Schecter. Never tried Schecter. Oh, sorry, I haven't tried a Schecter since the 80s, 90s, 80s. And I think that, I don't know, are they all like Far East made? I'm guessing.
Think so, yeah. But say not an unpleasant guitar to play, from what I remember. Quite metal.
Yeah.
A friend of mine had was it a Schecter or a? Yeah, I'm sure it was a Schenker. The Aces High Schecter with the card inlays and stuff. The playing card inlays down the neck looks really cool.
Oh, awesome. Oh, look, we've got a new member, Matt Wiltshire. Cheers, Matt. Nice to have you on board. Right, where are we? Paul Catrona signing off. Thanks for coming, Paul. See you next week, hopefully. Matt Wiltshire. Thanks, guys. If you want to get a stereo signal through headphones on the Katana, could you run the USB out to an interface and plug your headphones in that way? Yes, absolutely. Yeah, you could definitely do that. But it almost feels like, Matt, that they've missed something there. For me,
that's another thing for Katana Mark III stereo headphone amp.
exactly, yeah. But stereo everything, I think the whole thing could be,
Yeah.
great.
On the 2x12, it would make sense, wouldn't it?
It would. I would. Yeah, I'd definitely use one of those for live if that was all stereo, and be great. It's so much. It's so nice to have, or even like the opportunity to have like a wet dry rig where you could have one speaker being like your dry, and the other speaker being your wet, and you could mix it about. That would be awesome, wouldn't it?
We used to do that in the PA actually with our guitarist. He would his amp was obviously on stage and had a certain volume and had a mic in front of it.
Yeah.
But his pedals, we had a split, and in his effects loop there was a split, and the effects went to the PA in stereo.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
You had a kind of stereo dry.
Wet dry wet. Yeah, that is wet dry wet. Yeah. Nice.
But it was a bit, it was one of those, we didn't used to set it up for your average pub gig, but for good 3 or 4 set nights, it was worth doing.
It makes it different. It's such a different playing through like a stereo rig, like hearing stereo effects. It's so inspiring.
Yeah.
And we've got another new member, John Partridge. Cheers, John. Nice to have you on board. Give him a clap. Okay, John Partridge, what do you think of the new Fender acoustic electric thing? Do you know, we were looking at it before we came on, John, funny enough.
I don't get it. If it's so you can have something to rehearse with in the dressing room before you go on stage, I get it. But I haven't heard one in the flesh. I don't know how they sound acoustically. I don't get it.
If I had £1,500 to spend on a guitar, I wouldn't.
Are they that much?
Yeah.
Holy.
Yeah. Let me check. Let me just check. What are they called? They're called. Hold on. Look at that. It just spun by on guitar.
Fender Electro something. Acoustatronic or something, aren't they?
Acoustasonic Jazzmaster is 1649. The RRP is 1879.
I mean, that looks cool. They do look very, very cool. But no,
I don't get it. I'd never use it. I would never use it. Maybe I'm missing something.
Maybe we both are, because it doesn't float my boat. I mean, other than having one might be fun, but I think it might be fun and then gather a lot of dust.
Yeah, I think there's going to be loads for sale. I mean, the thing that made me laugh was, I don't know if we mentioned this last week, but it was literally when it came out, all of the YouTube channels at a certain subscriber level had them, and they all released at the same time. It's just like, do you really need to plug it this hard? Mind you, if they'd have offered me to do it, I'd have done it.
Unplug it this hard, surely, because it's electroacoustic.
Very good. I like the idea of the tone that you can do, where it's like a slightly driven tone.
Nah.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, mate. No, I think it's a no.
Which is why we didn't get one.
Yes. But if they'd have sent us one, we would have loved it. No, we wouldn't. That's not true. Marco Lapiolati, excuse me, Marco, if I've ruined that again. Hi, thanks for reaching out. We have a permanently discontinued okay. So this is his reply from Antelope.
I'll go to the horse's mouth, because quite frankly, if they have, I want more. I want another set, because they are really good mics.
Are they?
Yeah, the modeling side of them is really good. I don't think. I think it's fair to say the Antelope modeling microphones haven't been received as well as they hoped. They are really good, I think. I'd actually like a set of the solos, but the solos have done really well. The Verges, the pencil condensers, haven't done very well at all.
Interesting.
I don't really know why.
Interesting.
I could say why, but I can't say why, if you know what I mean. Because I like my job for them.
Okay. Well, maybe you can tell us next week if you can. John Waller, have you ever tried a Kiesel guitar? High quality build quality along with some custom options. Funny enough, John, I think Safey's got a Kiesel, and Safey's if Safe is still about. Safe, you might be able to answer. I've never tried one. I've tried a carving, obviously, when Kiesel used to be carving, and yeah, they were really good, sort of super strat types. Not quite sure on the headless thing at the moment.
I used to have a load of carving power amps.
Yeah.
PA amps that were amazing. I mean,
Oh, were they?
sonically, they were superb. The only problem was you needed a forklift truck to lift them.
Yeah.
Which instantly for portable PA doesn't make them very practical.
Yeah. I think if Safe is still about, Safey can. I'm sure he's got one. I was thinking of getting one. iCandy says, is a Digitech RP255 processor. I don't know the RP2. I'd have to have a look. Which one's that? Have you ever tried one? Hold on, let's have a quick look, mate.
If you show me it, I'll tell you if I've tried it.
Yeah.
Say when.
The RP 255.
255.
Look. Oh, hold on a sec. Hold on. Discontinued. So
Yes.
no, I've never tried one.
I have, because my father-in-law bought one.
Did he?
He bought a Les Paul Junior.
Yeah.
A little Marshall horrible thing.
Yeah.
One of these to put in front of it. And actually, do you know what?
Sounded all right.
I've heard worse. I've heard a lot worse.
It looks quite Zoom.
Very Zoom.
The plastic.
Yeah. Quite difficult to edit, quite difficult to mess around with. But actually, I was quite impressed at how, a lot of the presets on these things are so overcooked. I didn't think these were.
Oh, and it's a USB recording interface too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's quite cool. Yeah, nice one. Looks like a good buy, I would say. Oh, there we go.
You do that.
Jason Wade, guys, I have a Nick Johnson HSS in Atomic Snow. They're very good for the price point. Brilliant. Cheers, Jason.
Nice.
Yeah, they look nice. They look really nice. John says it makes no sense to him personally. That's the Acoustasonic thing.
Yeah.
Last two questions. Actually, let's go to Safey first. Actually, no, let's do John. John, thanks, guys. Got to go. Great Q&A. Have fun with those sneaky amps, Paul. Cheers, John Russell. 74-year young rocker. Now in a rocker. In the USA, born in Portsmouth.
Pompeii.
Pompeii, yeah.
No, Pompeii, not Pompeii. That's Italy,
Pompeii.
mate.
Is it Pompeii? Is it? Did you say Pompeii? I live so close to Portsmouth. I can't
Pompeii
believe
Island, mate.
Safey says, yes, he does. This is talking about the Kiesels.
Yeah.
It's an Alan Holdsworth model.
Ooh.
Very specific make, chambered, nice, bright, and balanced. Awesome. Cheers,
nice.
Safey. Eye candy, the chorus is nice.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
The Digitech effects were really, really, really good. There's a couple. There was the RP4 and the RP8 hardware studio units, where you had 4 or 8 processors and you could daisy chain.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to find one of those. And the other one that I really liked in that sort of world was the Ensoniq DP4.
Oh, the DP4, the split effect.
And I've been trying to find one recently because I remember, when you hear stuff years ago and you think it sounded really good.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit frightened that I'd get one of those now and it wouldn't be how I remembered it.
Yeah,
but I still think they'll sound really good and really usable.
They were quite high end. They were quite expensive.
Yeah, I mean you can get them now for about £600-700 on Fleabay. So if one turns up, I'm tempted. But those Digitech stuff, some of the Digitech stuff is amazing. Digitech and a company have had a hard ride recently. But yeah, I mean, their stuff's always been bomb-proof. The rack units, the single-unit racks, they did a bass processor, which was amazing.
I had a couple of Digitech stuff, bits and pieces.
It's good stuff.
Okay, Red Rover, the effing Game Cat, says, "Hey gang, hit the like button." Yeah, it really does help. Thanks, Red Rover, the effing Game Cat. It really does help if you click on the like button, and all these comments help as well. It just
like, subscribe, hit the button.
Yeah,
the
it really
everybody
really does help us, and it's always nice to see what we're on at the moment. 16,500 subscribers.
And also, and this is an absolute plug, you will notice that Paul and I are doing some stuff with Waves now. Waves do not pay us for doing those videos. However, and I'll be totally upfront, it's called the affiliate program. If you decide that you like one of the plugins that we show you how to use or whatever, and click and you want to buy it, click the link in the video, because you won't pay any different in money, but we get something back. So if you do,
He's gone. It's gone. It's gone. Right. I'm just going to say, because James has disappeared, this is great. This is the first time he shut up. So look, James, I'm just going to say, I'm going to say bye to everybody, unless you're going to be quick. You going to be quick? Sing your song. No. Okay. Apparently not. Well, there's no more questions, but guys, thanks very much for joining us today. Really appreciate it. And it's nice because, you know, when we started this,
I thought it would survive. I thought it would, but it didn't.
No, it didn't. Yeah, when we started this, I think we used to get like a couple of people used to watch us, and now we get, you know, all of you wonderful people. So thank you very much for joining us.
Hurrah.
Give yourself a clap.
As I was nearly saying, if you do like the stuff that we show you how to use, and you do want to buy it, we're not going to make you buy it, but if you do, please use the link, the affiliate link it's called, and we see some of that as commission type stuff. So, you know, it's all up front. We're holding our hands up. We make a couple of quid out of it. It isn't a lot. It's not going to buy my new studio, but hey,
I think it was nothing on the video. The last video I did was nothing. No one bought it.
Every little helps, as they say.
Yeah, it's all good. I don't think we're going to do much of that anyway, but it's
no. But you know, as and when, if you like the stuff that we do and you think I could do with that in my arsenal, buy it from there, not from directly from the site. So there, rah.
Yeah, awesome.
Are we done?
Are we done?
I think we're done. Ladies and gentlemen of the internet, thank you for joining us again this evening. We'll be back next week with more of the same. If you would like us to do a live mix critique on your mix, on your track, on anything you want to send us, please do. You can get hold of us via the Studio Reps website or via Facebook, or just message us and we will tell you how to send your stuff through to us. It's quite harmless. We're very nice. Hopefully, David, who we had to listen to his track last week, has found that useful.
Awesome.
Keep your comments, questions, suggestions, all that sort of stuff coming, and we will see you next week for more of the same. So from myself and from Mr. D over there, it's good night.
Hey guys,
stay safe and all that, and we'll see you soon.